On what seemed like a peaceful morning in Monterey Park, the heart of the Chinese community in Los Angeles, a tense drama quietly unfolded. Security camera footage captured a moment an Asian man in a light blue shirt displayed restless gestures and constantly scanned his surroundings. He appeared to be wary of an invisible threat. Just ahead, a vehicle from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IC, was parked and ready. Its presence sent a cold message. Every move this man made was under surveillance. The arrest was only a matter of time. As the man struggled to carry 2 buckets of water to the truck bed, an IC agent stepped out, pretending to be a helpful passerby, and moved a trash can that was blocking the way. It was a cleverly executed distraction. Immediately, agents appeared simultaneously from 4 different directions, quickly closing in to surround him and handcuffing the man with zip ties. A handheld scanning device was pulled out to verify the identity. In the blink of an eye, the man was escorted into an SUV and disappeared from the street. The incident took place right in front of the Seagull supermarket, across from the bustling Ding Pong Plaza, a small microcosm of the Chinese community filled with countless restaurants, jewelry stores, and pharmacies. This is the place where, for many immigrants, the American dream begins. But for quite a few, it's also where that dream can shatter at any moment. Their lives are a continuous cycle of working illegally, hiding in cramped spaces, and living under the constant fear of ICE. This individual arrest is actually just a small piece of a much larger and more complex picture. It reveals the dark hidden corners and organized criminal activities quietly operating right within the heart of the community. Just a few days earlier, a large-scale federal raid targeted another underground nightclub in Los Angeles. Dozens of suspects were arrested, along with a substantial amount of criminal evidence, especially drugs. Authorities say this nightclub is suspected of being a key link cooperating with domestic organized crime gangs. Its cover is an old commercial office building, with dark tinted windows giving off a deserted vibe. But behind those silent doors lies a lavish nightlife world, featuring a modern sound and lighting system and private VIP rooms. When law enforcement officers raided the scene, a white sedan sped wildly out of the parking lot, nearly crashing into a fire truck blaring its siren. 2 Chinese men panicked and rushed into the street. The armed agent shouts of, "Open the door!" echoed through the night. The exact number of people arrested has not been disclosed, but authorities have confirmed that at least 9 individuals who violated immigration laws have officially entered the deportation process. The next day, the social media page of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration's Los Angeles Division released shocking images. Dozens of men handcuffed and sitting on the ground. Among them were a few Chinese women dressed in revealing outfits. The seized items included a large quantity of drugs, drug paraphernalia, stacks of credit cards, unopened gift boxes, and gambling devices. This is the true face of the underworld, where criminal gangs often hide behind legitimate fronts like foot massage parlors or spa centers to secretly run prostitution and drug trafficking operations. This sophisticated cover-up has posed countless challenges for law enforcement agencies. This is the second Chinese nightclub to be shut down in Los Angeles within just 2 months. Previously, on May 30th, a similar raid by Homeland Security Investigations took place at a warehouse in Industry City. Around 60 to 70 Chinese individuals were found partying with drugs. Helicopters hovered overhead as many people lowered their heads to hide their identities. 36 individuals without legal documentation were detained on the spot. Most of them entered the country illegally and only had temporary work permits. This place is not just a nightlife hotspot with an entry fee of $40 to $50, but also a deadly trap. Insider sources revealed that the warehouse has no fire safety equipment at all. If a fire breaks out, no one would be able to escape. Notably, the team carrying out the operation specializes in money laundering cases. This indicates that the raid was not only targeting drugs or illegal immigration, but may have also uncovered illicit financial transactions related to underground currency exchange services. Behind these wild parties lie heartbreaking tragedies. Human trafficking gangs not only profit from prostitution, but also control their victims through violence, threats, and confiscation of passports, trapping them in a vicious cycle with no way out. The victims are mainly women facing economic hardship, unfamiliar with the language, and often deceived by promises of legitimate jobs. The presence of these hotspots has also become a source of anxiety for local residents. They complain about the lack of security, as suspicious individuals continuously come and go from disguised massage parlors, turning their once peaceful neighborhood into a dangerous area. The crackdown wave did not stop in California. On July 30th, in Louisiana, police raided multiple massage parlors and arrested 2 Chinese owners, Wu Jiang, 38, and Fun Ruin, 56, on charges of running a prostitution ring and operating without a license. The case file shows it will open a spa in 2023, but was quickly ordered to shut it down. However, prostitution activities continue to take place. Local residents reported seeing young Asian women who did not speak English, dressed provocatively, sometimes barely wrapped in towels, standing by the roadside. Witnesses also observed men frequently entering through the back door of the establishment, which was just separated from a residential house by a single wall. If the raids on nightclubs and massage parlors expose the dark side of physical crimes, then another case shook the entire Chinese American community across the United States, revealing a more sophisticated type of crime, document fraud. Funch, who is believed to be the mastermind behind a massive operation that helps illegal Chinese immigrants obtain New York driver's licenses, was arrested on July 28th in Alabama. The investigation exposed the scheme of a driving school in Flushing, Queens, New York. This school heavily advertised on social media, targeting Chinese speakers who do not know English, with promises of no need to take the written test, no need to take the driving test, and guaranteed to obtain a legitimate driver's license. When customers arrive, the school uses fraudulent tactics, such as impersonating the test taker or directly bribing the examiners at the Department of Motor Vehicles DMV to issue licenses. The price for each pass ticket ranges from $1,600 to $2,000. Even more alarming, many of their customers don't even know how to drive. Chinese media reported that just last year, the school sold more than 2,000 fake driver's licenses. This means thousands of unskilled ghost drivers have been and are currently driving on the roads, posing an unpredictable danger to public safety. The tragic accidents caused by these drivers are the most heartbreaking evidence of this issue. The repercussions of the fraud case continue to spread. ICE has begun tracking down and arresting individuals who purchase fake driver's licenses. On July 26, a Chinese-American man in Pennsylvania was stopped and searched by 4 police officers. Afterwards, they followed him home and detained his family members. "I don't understand what's happening," the man recounted. "They handcuffed me, took me home, and I realized they came to arrest my relative." The police suspected that his relative's driver's license had been purchased from the TNE driving school. They traced the lead from the address and emergency contact information provided in the registration records. The arrest took place amid panic and confusion, with the police having to use a translation app to communicate with the family. A climate of fear has engulfed the community. Those who previously bought driver's licenses from the school now live in anxiety, uncertain about when their turn will come. Purchasing a driver's license illegally can be considered fraud, carrying penalties ranging from fines and imprisonment to community service. But for undocumented immigrants, the consequences are far more severe: deportation. A manager named Mr. Wong at a law firm bluntly refused to take on a client involved in the case. He said, "The family came to us for help, but there's nothing we can do. They will have to wait for their deportation date." He emphasized a harsh rule: anyone who enters a country illegally and commits a criminal offense will definitely be targeted by IC and placed into the deportation process. The nightmare doesn't end there. There are reports that IC will soon be granted access to the Medicaid database, a federal health insurance program, with information on the addresses and ethnicities of 79 million people. This will become an extremely effective tool for tracking down undocumented immigrants. This news, along with the consecutive raids, has spread terror. Many people are afraid to seek medical care, report crimes, or apply for legal status. ICE arrests are happening more and more frequently. In Brooklyn, New York, 3 people living above a bakery were taken into custody. A mother of 4 children was detained right at her scheduled check-in with immigration authorities. Immigration policies have changed significantly. Instead of focusing solely on deporting criminals, the target has now expanded to include anyone without legal status. From January to the end of June 2025, ICE arrested at least 2,365 immigrants in the New York area alone. So why, despite the risks and intense crackdowns, does the number of Chinese people trying to enter the U.S. illegally continue to rise? Since China reopened after the COVID-19 pandemic, more than 63,000 Chinese nationals have crossed into the U.S. illegally through Mexico. This figure represents an increase of over 8,000% compared to 2021. They are not criminals. Many of them are fleeing a stifling reality back home. Strict censorship, increasing political oppression, and a declining economy. They come from middle-class and working-class backgrounds, people who have enough money to pay tens of thousands of dollars to human traffickers, but not enough to pursue legal channels. The strict zero-COVID policy and economic downturn have destroyed the livelihoods of countless small business owners, pushing them into a risky and uncertain path. They are victims of their homeland's policies, and now they face the threat of being deported from the land of opportunity. Caught between 2 pincers, on one side oppression, on the other harsh laws. Their future is becoming more uncertain and challenging than ever before. It is a double tragedy, a vicious cycle of hope and despair unfolding right before our eyes.